Good evening, everyone, and welcome to SDGC for Thursday, July 2nd. And in lieu of doing the usual opening, I want to open this by saying that, yes, this is Reb and Matty and Zach's last episode as regular cast members. And I've been very excited for them to talk about what they've got coming up in the future, but also it's been very bittersweet because they're my family, and I've been thinking about what I wanted to say to all three of you, and I promise this will be quick. But I've never been known for my ability to kind of keep my temper in check on certain things, and I have learned so much from the three of you. Matty, you are one of the most tempered and reasonable individuals I've ever met, and you've always been a voice of reason for me, and I really that's something I aspire to for myself. I'm not sure if I'll ever get there, but I'll continue to look at you as a standard for what I want to achieve in that regard. Rab, not only you're not just one of the most talented journalists in the industry, but you're also like a little sister to me. And I've been extremely traditionally not great at looking at the perspectives of others, but you have helped me a great deal with that. Not just on this podcast, but through your friendship. I like to say often that the best kind of friends are the ones who tell you when you're wrong, and you haven't been afraid to do that, and I really can't put into words how thankful I am for that, and for you. And Zach, you've done such an incredible job running the social media side of SDGC, and honestly, you've got a fire in you and a passion in you for the causes that we all believe in that I find incredibly inspiring. And I, even though I'm a good deal older than many of you, I look up to you, Zach. And I wish I had done a better job of saying that before now. So as we start the show, I just want all three of you to know that I love you. And I will always cherish the memories. I will always. I love you. I love all three of you, and I'm gonna miss you.
John, we're not dying, man.
I know. I know.
Right
I know.
And they were never seen again.
Hey,
is everyone?
Discord in the DM
is
in the
I
chat.
know.
I'm expecting them to all go to dust at the end of the show. Infinity War.
I
It's
know.
been on the show in a year. Sorry, Maddie.
This is.
I don't even know who I am.
I had a gag planned, and unfortunately now it's just got to be heartwarming. John, are you watching this the stream?
Yes, I am.
John,
Let's see the
everyone
gag.
is here.
Everyone
Everyone is here.
This is the whole crew. Look at that.
Nice. Everyone is
This
here.
is literally the entire SDGC crew. This is so cool.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
This only happens for the Game of the Year show.
I will say this very quickly because I don't have any kind of prepared statements. Thank you so much to literally this entire crew and all these people in the chat who came out to sort of send us off. Like I said, we're not dying. This is very celebratory, but it is like lovely to just get to see all these lovely familiar faces and be in the group and have it, because I don't think I've ever been on an SDGC with literally the entire cast at once. Not even Game of the Year.
I think the Game of the Year is like the only time I've ever done it, and it's been like a few years back since we did it all.
Yeah,
so
last year we didn't have everybody. We're missing a couple people.
Yeah, that's right. And like, I feel like I should say really quick, like, we're here for tonight's gonna be good vibes. Like,
Yeah.
Only good
like,
vibes.
we're here for the good vibes. Finn, you had your hand up, my man.
I did. It's been a while since Maddie's been on the show, and I really wanted to ask him a very important question.
What's that?
With your unfortunate passing, am I able to be Matt again?
Yeah, you were always. That's why.
Oh my.
Oh!
Maddie.
Can you be?
The title of Matt is up for grabs now.
I mean,
Does the chat even know that your name is Matt?
unfortunately,
Are they aware?
I am
think
now
they-
Matt.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for this level of discourse, to be perfectly honest.
Not everything considered this.
I think Finn is actually just known as Saki Dad.
Fair.
It's just weird because I was introduced to you as Finn, so that's what you'll. It's,
All right, I'll stay.
But
Finn,
you're
it's
Matt
fine.
and you're Finn. You're both. There's no confusion.
Right?
You're everything. You're all of it.
Can I just say this 18% alcohol IPA? Holy fucking shit!
That's dangerous.
You know, again,
like drinking
drink
alcoholic
Bud Light
syrup.
seltzer like an adult. Okay.
Woo! This is
Wine.
some shit right here. Oh man! You know what I should have said to Maddie? Maddie, I should have said I will never, when I'm milking anything, never not look you in the fucking eyes
Oh god, that
when I'm milking.
I wish we
That-
still had that video. I feel
that
like
line didn't go.
We do.
we do.
We do.
We still have the video.
We do?
If you can get that,
I found the video, and it's all. I also have the one where we're drawing.
hey, if
Please
you can
explain-
get
no,
those,
you all have to explain
Listen,
this to people.
if you can get
Oh,
those
okay,
videos
so-
on the Google Drive before this episode is over, I will air them.
Hell yeah.
Please,
I
yes,
have to,
please
I'll
do.
have to pull them off somewhere. Okay.
There was
Basically, the context is
Yeah.
at our very first PAX together. It was the year the Switch first came out, so the only game that was really available to play with other people was 1-2 Switch. So Maddie and I are playing 1-2 Switch on the hotel TV, and there's a mini game where you have to milk a cow. And we're like getting into it, and Maddie just yells out, "You look me in the eyes when you're milking that cow."
no. You look me in the fucking eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
sorry.
more-
I'm
it was
so
similar.
sorry. I'm
You
so
look me in the
sorry.
fucking eyes when you're milking, and I almost fell off the goddamn bed. I was laughing so
That was,
hard.
that was like the only time I ever played 1-2 Switch, and it was worth the $60. Honestly.
That moment really set the tone for the rest of our first PAX experience.
Yeah.
Well, Reb, did you want to kick off our first topic tonight?
Yeah, so normally we start SDGC with what have we been playing, and because it's the last show for me, Matty, and Zach as full cast members, we decided that, well, I decided, no one else volunteered anything that they wanted to talk about. So I decided I wanted to change the segment and do what have we been enjoying lately. So it doesn't just have to be about games, but like, I want to hear about things that are making you happy right now and things that you're doing currently, whether it's games or TV or movies or activities or whatever else that are bringing joy into your life. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start. I am doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. It is a puzzle of kittens in a library. It is very difficult. It turns out that 1,000-piece puzzles are very difficult. And
I was gonna ask, like, in the for the non-puzzle folks, what's the spectrum of puzzles? Like, where does 1,000 sit? Is that like close to the
That's a lot
pinnacle?
of fucking pieces.
1,000
that's a lot.
1,000 pieces is probably not master level puzzling, but it's like advanced, and it's
Okay.
not something you do in a single evening unless you're like really good and really dedicated. Like this, it's scattered on my table. I haven't really been working on it much this week, but I'll probably work on it some this weekend. It's probably gonna take me a few weeks to finish, like just by puttering at it a little bit every evening.
Is your experience puzzling with cats the same as my experience puzzling with cats has been?
No, probably not. Mine are actually
Okay.
pretty good. So
Okay.
I have it on a coffee table, and they do not touch the pieces if they are on the coffee table. If one of them falls
Wow.
off the coffee table, they will hit it around and I will lose it.
They
As long
they
as I
respect you as an owner.
I actually think it's more of like one of those weird cat peculiarities where they don't want to sit on something if there's something on that something, if that makes sense. Like, it's like putting a book on a table for them. Like, if there's a book on the mine are very weird. They're really respectful of my space. Like, they don't knock shit off shelves or whatever. If there's something up there, they're like, oh, I can't fit, and they leave. But the one thing they do is sometimes they will like forget. Like, so the first couple times I did it, I put like a sheet over it because I was like, okay, in case they like, I don't want them hitting puzzle pieces off. But that made it worse because then they thought there was nothing on the table, and so they jumped on the table, and by like sitting on it, all the pieces fell down, and they were like, wait, what? So they're pretty respectful. They're pretty good. But I started this puzzle when Imran was here last week, and we got a little bit intoxicated while he was here on something. And we attempted to do the puzzle, and I learned that we're not good at puzzles when partaking in things. And we also watched Kill la Kill, which is the most anime I've ever seen, and it feels like a fever dream at this point. So yeah, I'm doing better at the puzzle now that I am sober. And it's making me happy. And I'm also still playing Animal Crossing, and oh yeah, I'm doing Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh
Derek, you had a
yeah,
question.
yeah. You actually found a copy of that. That's right.
Hold on, Derek had a question.
I just want to
Oh.
say I don't know how you felt about Kill la Kill, but if you had any positive thoughts on it whatsoever, that same studio did a show called Little Witch Academia on Netflix.
I've seen that. I've seen the first season. I love Little Witch.
Yes, I was gonna
really
say
good.
that would probably be very much your vibe, but
It is my vibe. It's great.
Isn't that
I need
the
to watch
same
more of it.
studio that's doing cyberpunk anime?
Trigger.
I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know who's doing the Cyberpunk, but
Yeah.
Trigger
Yeah,
is doing the
sure.
Cyberpunk one.
okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
And I need
but
to
yeah,
watch
I'm good.
BNA, Brand New Animal. Yeah.
I got Ring Fit, and it's bringing me both joy and pain. Despite the fact that I'm very beautiful, I'm not very in shape. I don't exercise very often. And so I am trying very hard, and Ring Fit is making me frustrated sometimes, but there is a wonderful feeling where I finish Ring Fit and I take a giant drink of water and I go wipe myself off with a cold towel, and then I like put a towel on the couch so I don't get sweat on it because it's like a newer couch, and then I sit down and I play like 30 minutes of Animal Crossing, and then I go take a cold shower. And that part of my morning is really, really nice right now, and it's nice to have the routine. And then I like eat like oatmeal or like an egg for breakfast or something, and it feels really good. And I've stuck with it. Today was my 7th day doing it, and I'm in World 4, and I'm like on the almost the easiest difficulty, but I'm doing it, and I'm proud of myself. And I'm gonna take tomorrow off because I said that I was gonna take every Friday off, but I'm gonna keep back at it on Saturday, and I'm gonna do a really good job and get very strong. And that's
Good
what makes
for
me
you,
happy
Red.
right now.
Good for you. I've heard really good things about it too. Like as somebody
It's
who did the-
fantastic. It's like a genuinely good game. It like gamifies exercise in a really wonderful way. Another thing that it does that I thought about today that I think more games should do, like literally every time I sign in for the day, it gives me like a 1 to 2 sentence recap of what happened in the plot the previous time I played. Like really short, really easy, and it's like, why can't every game just do this? Like
Yes.
I don't even need this because I'm playing it every day and I remember what happened. But like fucking great, tell me.
I just love the fact that the villain is a really buff dragon.
Oh,
like,
he's so buff.
So good.
That,
He's so
Oh,
buff
he's jacked.
and so
Gay
thirsty.
Twitter is
Drago
all
is-
about that.
It's weird that we haven't
thing.
also said that he's hot. It seems
hot.
weird.
It's not my
Oh,
type.
he's very hot.
I'm more
He's
into
hot,
twinks,
but I recognize
but
he's
No,
hot.
but-
Like
he
from a
fucks.
standpoint. Yeah. It's a good game. And it's also good. I like it because I did a lot of We Fit You with the balance board, and that game body shames the shit out of you. It like made me feel bad sometimes. I didn't really even think about it, but now I do think about those things a lot more. And Ring Fit does not body shame you. It tells you that your glistening sweat is beautiful, and it tells you that you're doing amazing. And if you miss a couple days and you come back, it's like, hey, good job. Like you're coming back, you're doing a thing. I'm so proud of you. It's just like, it's really nice and positive, and I love it.
that's awesome. That's fantastic. And I have heard that it is a legit tough workout. Like it'll
It is.
it'll put you through the
It's very
ringer
like
if you let it.
adjustable too. So like it's like tough. It's tough at the level that it needs to be for you.
That's great.
Literally everybody I know, myself included. I don't do it enough. I really should make a point of doing it more, and I'm going to try to. But like literally every single person I know that got it, like was like, all right, I'm ready to go with the first workout, and then was just like, oh my god, after like 10-15 minutes.
I definitely pushed
Yeah,
it
you have
too
to.
high.
It's definitely so. It's difficult for me, and this is like maybe me revealing like more about how like not in shape I am than I maybe want to. But like the very first day I did it, I was able. I think I played for like a total of like 30 minutes, but it keeps track of your like exercise time and like your movement time, and not the time that you're actually playing. Because there's like cutscenes and stuff where you're just standing around, right? Or like you're menuing through or whatever. And I think like the very first day I only did like 7 minutes of activity, and I was just like done. And part of it is because my arms are super out of shape, and so even though I could have probably kept on jogging, like I couldn't squeeze the dang ring anymore. But like now, and this still sounds like sort of not like a lot, but now I've worked it up to most days I'm playing somewhere around 45 minutes a session, and I'm doing something close to 15 minutes of activity per session. And that usually amounts to like 3 to 4 worlds. It kind of depends on if there's like mini games thrown in or if there's like a Drago battle or whatever. But and I like go back and repeat some worlds if I need to level up or whatever. But yeah, it's like I feel it like I feel myself getting gains, guys. I'm getting the gains.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gains. But the arm thing is really hard. Like the marker of when I need to stop is absolutely when my arms start hurting, because like my upper arms are not used to having to squeeze shit.
Reb,
hard.
make sure after every because it's a turn-based RPG, right? Like it's yeah. Make sure after every victory you got to kiss the biceps. You got to you got
No, but it does make you do at the end of every level. You have to do a victory pose. You do a squat and then you raise.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like that. How did the cat react
before
to
and
that?
after, and gives you
How do the
experience
cats
points
like
for stretching.
this? Are Luke and Robo all fucked up over this? Are they like, what are you doing?
They kind of hate it when I exercise. They get confused. They're getting used to it now, but they get really annoyed because I do a virtual yoga class on Tuesday mornings too, and they like to roll around on the mat, and it's a problem if I'm like sitting on the front of the mat, one of them might be rolling around behind me, and if I have to lay back, I'll lay on top of a cat. It's very good. And I want to throw to someone else. Someone else talk about what they like.
How about Zach? I just want to point out, Zach put in chat, like, while Zach, you need to apologize to everybody who was hunting for a Ring Fit, because your Ring Fit has been sitting boxed up in the corner of your office.
Oh, that's rude.
Since, and everybody's like, I can't get a Ring Fit. Zach over here is like, I haven't even opened mine.
It's right here. It's right here.
Sorry, I will interject. If you are looking for a Ring Fit, now is a good time to start like checking stores again and like doing notifications. They are starting to get stock back. Follow like Wario64 on Twitter. He usually tweets about that stuff. And they're getting back in stock more often, and they're staying in stock for longer. I mean, it's still like after 30 minutes, it's usually gone. But if you're like watching the internet, you can actually catch it now, and it's not gone in like 2 seconds like it was before. That's how I got mine. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, Zach.
No, you're good. I'm gonna do two things, neither of which are very gaming related, and one of them is breaking the rules, but I won't break it yet. The one bad boy over here.
You're fired.
Yeah,
We already fired him in the chat. We can't fire him.
So the one thing, this is a very this is a lame one. Over Memorial Day weekend, my wife and I bought a grill. Let me tell y'all, I don't know if this is fitting the topic. I've been enjoying my grill. I bought a grill. And the grill is very cool. We keep, whenever we get produce from curbside pickup, we get different things, you know, whether it's like some beef skewers, some buffalo. We've done buffalo chicken kebabs on the grill. We do burgers and hot dogs. Hot dogs, it's funny. Hot dogs are not a difficult thing to grill. But goddamn, does it feel good to make a hot dog on the grill. And it just feels really good. It's funny. You put a hot dog, you poke some holes in a hot dog, put it in the microwave, you eat them. I feel shame. I do the same thing on a grill for like 3 minutes, and I feel incredible about myself. A grill is a fun purchase for me. I've been living that COVID in the era we live in is incredibly stressful. It's easy to feel down. It's easy to feel like you're not doing enough, both for your family and for your community. But using a grill has been one way I can end my day feeling like I am feeding myself and also my family, which has been good. The other thing here, this is breaking the rules of what this topic is, 100%, is I just wanted to quickly recap one of the most fun things I've done at SDGC, which is, again, not the topic, but I'm already leaving, which was at PAX East 2019. Boy, we had some fun, and boy, did I get up to some hijinks with the gang, which is cool. But I want to talk about some of my favorite things. One of which is the one thing that I think Matty and I have kept very close to the chest, which is that one day PAX Floor was very stressful, and we left PAX and went to a movie theater and watched Us, and that was
Was that right after our Bethesda appointment? We were like,
it might have been. It might have been. We were very stressed. We didn't. We didn't tell.
It was. I remember because I was with you guys right before that, and then I'm like, hey, you guys coming in there? And you're just like, we'll catch up. And then I didn't see you guys for hours.
I thought y'all died.
Yeah, it was weird. We just decided we weren't going to tell people because we knew you would be disappointed in us. So we didn't say anything. Let me bring it back. Justin makes a good point. We were at the Bethesda booth. And let me tell you about how funny and bad the Bethesda booth was. The first insult, Todd Howard made us play Rage. Rage was not a good video game.
Ooh, I broke Rage at I think it was it the E3 prior, or was it the PAX West prior?
Those demos were
Probably
not
the West
stable.
prior.
Yeah, the PAX West prior. I was the very first person in the first demo group to play Rage 2. Sorry, I'm interrupting your story, but I absolutely broke the Rage 2 machine.
Yeah.
I somehow hit some combination of buttons. I mean, it's like a demo game, right? Like, it's not a perfect build or whatever.
Sure.
I hit some combination of buttons that without me, if I took my hands off the controller, the gun just fired. Just nonstop. It just kept firing. And that made it impossible to continue with the game because there are certain actions you cannot take while you are constantly firing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. please
Similarly,
continue.
the build was still broken. We played it at PAX East, which was like 2 months before it launched. That game did not. It was not a good game.
I think Zach's
I reviewed it. I reviewed that game for us, and yeah, it did not release much more stable than those demos.
The bright side of the PAX booth that Bethesda had was that they did give free alcohol. Obviously, we should be reevaluating how much alcohol we bring to industry events. That's a serious topic that I won't get into. The other thing that was funny was that they said they were going to be providing lunch, and they gave me a Hawaiian roll, and I opened it up, and there was a single tiny baby shrimp inside.
I remember
And
that.
that
I
was my
remember
sandwich.
that shit.
It was very bad, but extremely
Coffee is
funny.
amazing.
And then we took our 2 free drinks. We turned around with the food, and we watched Todd Howard talk about Fallout 76 and basically apologized for it.
Yeah, he is nothing. This is no shade to my short kings. Todd Howard was smaller than I expected. But there's nothing wrong with
I was
that.
like,
Seriously, no shade. Seriously, it's fine. But it surprised me because he and we saw his family was there. We saw Pete Hines. PAX East was a good time. We also ate a lot of good food, including a little Mexican spot. John, I don't remember what it was called, but it was very good. Highly recommend it. I don't remember. It was the first day we got there. John brought cookies. I'll stop in a minute. John brought cookies for the whole gang from a closing coffee shop.
Motherfucker! Yeah, I was hoping you.
Cookies to us at PAX East this year. What's up with that?
Because
Okay,
Zach ate all his cookies.
Yeah, but I kid you not, half the gang wasn't there.
PAX East this year.
All I'm saying, let me finish this story, was that John brought like 8 cookies for the whole gang, and I ate 4 because people were late getting back from the airport.
Yeah.
And I'm not sorry. I'm
Yeah,
not.
you did.
I don't feel bad.
You did, and not only that, you ate my fucking cookie. You ate my cookie, Zach. I came back, and Zach was so unapologetic about that shit. He literally looked me in the fucking eye and was like, "I'm sorry, but not sorry. I ate your cookie. I just ate it." And I was
I
like,
didn't
dude,
hear that in Zach's
like
voice.
that restaurant. I was like, dude, that bakery's closed now. I'll never get another one. Like, that's it for my favorite cookie on earth. And Zach was like, I can't remember what he said, but Zach was like, I'm not even sorry I did it. But I did.
The worst part was that, like, just 100% sober. Like, just like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I was just full of cookie.
Yeah, this was 3 p.m. on Wednesday.
Zach, how
like,
good
PAX hadn't even started yet.
How good were those fucking cookies, though? How good were those cookies?
No, they were
What
good.
kind of cookies
Yeah.
were they? This is
Chocolate,
important.
chocolate chunk, not chocolate chip. I
Giant-
won't
yeah.
slander it. Chocolate chunk. Chocolate chunk.
There were also
Giant-
peanut butter
chocolate
ones,
chunk.
right?
All
Yeah.
8 of them were
Yeah.
chocolate chunk?
They were all
I'm
chocolate
gonna
chunk.
order a cookie.
Yeah, no, you should do it.
Zach,
anyway,
I had a question. Zach, I had a question about your hot dog.
please.
What did you put on it? What did you actually put on the dog?
You know,
A rubber,
it's
hopefully.
Funny. It's funny. Here's the thing. I used to be a ketchup only kind of guy. I did. And I love a chili dog, and I would never slander a chili dog. But you know what I got into? My wife kept bringing out the mustard, and I kept, I don't like the mustard. It's
The best
too much.
condiment.
It's too much. And then you know what? And then it had been out for so long, and I was like, you know what? I've got 2 hot dogs here. I'm gonna put a little mustard on here and see what it's all about.
Whoa.
Mustard is a pretty good topping.
Yes, it is. Like, holy yes,
Mustard's
yes.
good.
Zach, did you put?
Good mustard.
Did you put-
Insomnia's got a buy 4 get 2 free cookie deal right now. Do I
Insomnia
take
cookies
that?
are so
Yeah.
good.
Right
Do
now.
it.
Yeah.
Zach,
When you
did
get
you
the
put
ones that have
sport
M&Ms?
peppers and pickle and dill
M&M?
relish and tomato on there?
No, I keep it
celery
basic. John.
salt.
I keep it basic. What we do is we take the buns, we put them over the toaster, not in the toaster, over the toaster, pull the toaster down so it gets a little bit of heat in there, crisp up the bun a little bit. Ketchup, mustard, the dog. That's
Ketchup
it.
has no place on a hot dog.
Hey, what's a fluffer nutter?
Oh,
Isn't that like a marshmallow fluff?
This is a PG pod. This is a PG.
Yeah.
Anyone know?
I'm pretty sure that's the secret of mana enemy.
I'm gonna order whatever that is.
Another is it's fluff and peanut butter.
Okay.
That-
I love how
That makes
Matty
sense.
actually knew what the fuck it was.
Is that true, or is that made up?
Yeah, I think it's a. I
Yeah.
think it's
No,
New England.
no, Matty is correct.
All I know is it's marshmallow fluff and something, so that's probably right.
So I'm trying to think if there's any last thing since I am just desperately clawing at my last second fucking platform. I'm pretty much out of it. I guess the one thing I'd say is that I feel like since I started at SDGC, we've gotten a lot better at doing more different types of content that were like pre-recorded stuff, and that's been some of the most fun and the most rewarding, which is like out of podcast hours, which I love doing, like we're doing right now. We also make a bunch of after hours content. We meaning people that are no longer me. And it's been cool and fun and a better way to deep dive content. And that's been cool. And thank you for people who listen to those, because it's cool to do a bunch of work and then people listen to them. Anyway, the community has been cool, and they've been a lot smarter and insightful than, like as John said earlier, smarter and insightful than we are, and they make us do better, which is cool. Anyway, I think I'm out of things to say. I'm desperately scrambling, but I'm out of drink, which means I'm done talking. That's
Zach, I will say this before I kick it over to Matty. I will say this: the Code review that you and I did with Resident Evil 2 is still some of my favorite content that we've done.
It was
Zach,
a good game.
Zach even had like a monologue written out about like a dark and stormy night. And
It
like,
was
you know,
pretty rough. It was
yeah, and
pretty
like,
rough
and,
in
like the
hindsight.
moans of zombies echoing throughout the police. Like, dude, it was legit. That was good fucking shit you did.
Yeah, I was on some bullshit right there. Listening to hindsight, I probably listened to it. I'd probably be like,
Why did I do that?
I feel like we're gonna find
Wow.
out that Zach made a secret fan film.
No, I love it. I love it. By the way,
Yeah.
this I'm almost
Matty,
really wasted.
Matty, I swear to God, if you don't have anything fucking
Matty,
exciting to
give us
say-
some good shit you're enjoying right now.
Zach is like scaring the shit
Zach's
out of me.
on it, man.
No,
Zach went from
he-
happy to angry
was-
real fast.
This was Zach's energy at the peak of PAX, and it was incredible. It was great.
I want to hang out with Zach so much.
Yeah, I
He's a
think
good
the
person
thing,
to hang out with.
the thing
hang
I'm
out
gonna
with
miss
Matty.
most. Yeah, we should sometime
I would like
at a
that.
PAX, because I want to keep going to PAXs.
And the rest of you
hanging
too,
out
but
with
you
Very
know.
fun.
So is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So things I've been enjoying lately. Too many video games. I've been playing like a dozen different games, just bouncing between them. I'll pick like two. Today I was playing some Hitman 2. That's a very good video game. I was playing Hitman 1 levels in Hitman 2 because that's the world we live in now. All the games get smushed together. Man, those levels hold up so much.
Paris, incredible level, all-time level.
Paris. I'm on Colorado right now, which I remember not loving the first time, but I'm hoping.
I love Hokkaido. That level rules.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just like love the disguise system, and like it's a stealth game, but it's also more of a puzzle game in like how I play it. And I'm trying to. I have like the perfectionist personality with stealth games where like if I get spotted, I'm quick loading, and I'm trying to use Hitman to kind of break that, where like you can get into really interesting like hijinks by just getting spotted and then like switching costumes and running around throwing shit at people's heads. So I'm trying to get more into like the creative spirit with it. But yeah, that game just has really interesting level design, and the way it's like every area is a key to be unlocked by picking up a persona is very interesting. And also I've been playing SnowRunner, which man, that game, Death Stranding with trucks. Played it for like 7 hours, and I've only covered like 2 miles worth of map in the Michigan map, because you get stuck every 5 feet in the mud, and you gotta like throw your winch out and pull it another 2 more inches, and then throw your winch out again and pull again. I
Matty,
think Zach played a little bit of that.
I was gonna say, Matty, I talked about this a few weeks on the podcast. Wow, words. They come out in different orders. Matty, a few weeks ago, I talked about this on the podcast, in which SnowRunner for me was actually like a surprisingly emotional game in which I was reliving my experience of like driving to work and listening to podcasts through SnowRunner, I wondered, like, I don't know how much you used to drive compared to pre-COVID and now, but like, are you finding any of that, I don't know, emotion or feeling?
Yeah, a lot. Like, especially because I'm playing it with Spotify over it instead of, because the in-game radio is actually, I wrote something about this. If you would like to go read it on Questlog. Questlog.
Matty, what's Questlog? Tell us about it.
Questlog.
That's so
Well,
interesting.
I'm glad you asked. Questlog is a gaming blog that I started. I looked on the Twitter and it was only like 2 weeks ago or a month ago. So I thought it had been multiple months, but it has not. Where I'm just writing about just right now, I'm kind of using it to like find my voice in terms of criticism, because games crit is like something I've done for years, but I just kind of like let those skills sit around throughout college. Just didn't really use them, and so I got rusty. And Questlog is like right now my way of like finding my footing again, and then eventually I want it to become something more where I just post my crit, and also I want to do streaming and a podcast eventually, but that's like down the road once I find my footing. But yeah, SnowRunner. I wrote a piece about how playing it with Spotify over it is like the perfect like Zen game where like you just get in like a zone of like, all right, I'm stuck in the mud. And especially if you're listening to a workout playlist, it's like I'm stuck in the mud, but I just gotta keep pushing.
Wait, what's your workout playlist? I feel like we need to unpack this further.
Run the Jewels is on it.
Fuck yeah.
Dio recommended a Japanese rock album to me. But I think it's 1OK Rock or something is their name. It's they have a song called 69, which I was like, there's no way.
Nice.
There's no way that's about this. And then I read the lyrics and I was like, that's what it's about. But yeah, it's just like you said, Zach, I used to drive a lot because I used to live like an hour away from my girlfriend. So I was driving like 2 hours round trip every couple days. And like podcasts and music were like my constant companion on those drives. And it definitely gives me that vibe. Also combined with, I don't know, have you played the later maps, Zach?
No, Matty. One of the things I like to do these days is spend a lot of money on video games, and then sorry, my mic looked like it did this weird thing. I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on games, and then I play them for 2 hours, and then I stop playing them because I've got a silly brain sometimes.
Yeah, me too. So I'm still in Michigan, which has like a weird like post-apocalyptic vibe almost. Like you go into town and it's just run down and like nobody's there.
I talked about this. Like one of the premises they talk about in the Michigan is that a dam just broke, and like that just actually happened in real life in Michigan, and it just fucking hit different. Yeah, it's a weird fucking game right now. Yeah,
like it feels like Death Stranding both in the mode of play and in the like you're reconnecting parts of this map through bridges and like, oh, this electrical tower fell, deliver like concrete to get it fixed or something. So it's like a weird, it's like a post-apocalyptic vibe, but it's also just very like calming, and like it's got the autumnal kind of forests and stuff that I'm a sucker for. I'll play any game that looks like that. So yeah, SnowRunner's been a very
I should grab
nice chill game.
I should grab this game. This sounds very good.
It's very good. Yeah, it's slow, and like a little. I think if you want more than just driving a truck and getting it unstuck, it might get a little tedious. But it's definitely very interesting, at least. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Questlog. I say this with like sincerity and not with like I feel like it sounds like kind of a backhanded insult. It's not meant to. So Matty has not like been on the podcast much. He's had other stuff going on. So Matty and I have actually not really crossed paths a whole lot since I've been on the show. Since I think of us, I am technically the newest member, and also leaving.
So yeah.
I think that's true. So I didn't know that Matty was a writer. Like, I just never had any idea. It wasn't that I thought he wasn't a writer. I just didn't know that was something he did and enjoyed doing and was good at. And I read Questlog, and it's really fucking good. And you should just like go read his shit because it's good.
Thank you. Yeah, I went to college for writing, and then I never talk about.
I fucking
writing.
never knew that about you. Like, we could have talked about stupid.
I know. I just like I went to college for it, and then I never did it. So whenever
journalism degree.
Whenever I'm in proximity of a talented writer, and they're like, "Let's talk shop," I'm like, I don't have shop to talk.
You're really good, and I hope you do more of
Thank
it. I'm
you.
excited to read more of it, and we should be writer friends as well as regular friends.
We should.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Matty, one time Matty and I got high at PAX. And that's all.
It was very good. We tried to record.
I'll never forget the moment where Zach had been saying for a while, he's like, this isn't doing anything, and then he just stops for a second, looks me dead in the eye, and just goes, oh no, I'm high.
Also, at one point, I was like, and we were trying to record a podcast or something, and Zach and I were just yelling, like top of our lungs yelling.
Yeah.
Ruined the recording, and I got paranoid that you guys were mad at us. So I texted Zach, oh no, I think we ruined the content. I think they might be mad at us.
You have to protect the integrity of the content.
There was also one night where I had a migraine, so I had gone back to the hotel early, and I was finally feeling better. And there was like a McDonald's around the corner that was technically closed, but they were willing to serve me because they still had like delivery people. And since I walked in, they're just like, all right, sure, we'll just give you food. And like, I have never seen Matty and Zach so impressed at anything anyone has pulled off as much as they were at me getting served at that McDonald's.
I remember
That was a good McDonald's placement. It was like 2 minutes from the hotel.
Yeah, it wasn't far at all. This was a west, right?
This was east.
No, this is
2019.
this is east. I was there. I haven't been to West.
It was my first. It was my first PAX, and I was also overcompensating for the fact that it was my first like anything of the kind. And I was like, "We're gonna make the content. We're gonna make the good shit." And everyone was like, "Dude, you gotta chill the fuck out." So
I was like,
and I
I'm
needed
tired.
that. I needed to be told that. But I also made you all deal with Thirsty Derek. So I'm sorry.
Those vlogs, those like vlogs that we tried to do turned out so bad. All of us were so tired.
I deleted all of them. All of them, but the Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel review.
Oh my God! No, that's the game fuel. The game fuel.
The game fuel.
That's what we met Justin's. That's what we met Justin's doppelganger.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild.
So like, as far as stuff we're enjoying, do you guys mind if I go next? Because I've been dying to talk about this.
Please do.
I'm going to be quick. I've got like I think like 2 things to talk about, maybe 3 things to talk about, but it's gonna be quick. I promise. I'm a little drunk right now, so please excuse me. So a couple weeks ago, Vicky and I were sitting on the back porch and watching a rabbit build a nest, like 10 feet from us, in our backyard, and she
Do
was
rabbits
just like,
build nests?
yeah, little rabbit nest, like little rabbit burrow.
Oh, okay.
And so she would.
Not
we were
a
sitting out
bird
there-
nest, Jeff.
Well, I'm like picturing it like building this branches in a tree.
They dig a hole. They dig a hole
we were
like a
sitting out
rat.
there. We were sitting out there drinking our coffee, and she was like 10 feet away from us, and she would squeeze between the fence and come back with like a big mouthful of dead grass, and she's just digging and packing the top of the burrow with this nest. Everybody's leaving for my story.
I'm here.
We're listening.
I'm here, buddy.
Zach and Robert just done.
No, it's fine. I don't want to talk about it.
They quit early.
Yeah.
No, so
At least Matty respects us.
yeah, at least Maddie's like, no, John, don't worry about it. I'm interested in what you have to say.
No, right now,
No,
Matt,
but, I'm just kidding. But so like she built her nest, and I was like, okay, well now I can't mow this part of the lawn anymore. So that part of the lawn has been unmowed for like 3 weeks now. And last week, I went out there to check on the nest, and there's a big mat of hair on top of the nest, like rabbit hair. So I've done plenty of research, so I know that I'm not doing anything wrong. I put on a latex glove, and I pulled the fur back, and there's a bunch of little buns in there, just all curled up and sleeping. And so I rubbed one of them on his little head, and I've been going out there and killing snakes and taking care of these little baby rabbits when mom isn't around. And today I went outside, and they had ventured outside of the nest for the first time. And so they were just walking around, and I went inside and put on some latex gloves and went outside and picked one up. I just picked one up, and I petted him a little bit. I named her after my niece, Scout. And then I put her back down, and I just sat there and watched them for a little bit, and they were just kind of hopping around a little bit. And I've been protecting these rabbits for weeks now, and it just makes me feel really good. And also today, my son and I were watching Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, and he looks at me and he says, "I'm going to be an investigator when I grow up. So these will be solved mysteries because I am very good." He said, "I am very good at investigating and finding out facts." And then he spent 30 fucking minutes looking for his Switch charger. And he got so frustrated that he yelled about it so loud I could hear him upstairs. And it was the most beautifully ironic shit
like
that I've
like
seen
son.
in months.
That is Big John energy. Yeah. That is enormous John energy. Oh my god. You have
Congratulations, John.
Hey,
is your son.
We are not allowed to say Big John energy in this podcast.
It's like that Ugly Kid Joe song where it's like, my boy grew up just like me, and I'm like, oh no, he's me. He's getting mad because he can't find shit.
Wow. Hey, if you ever wanted John to date himself, he just made a
Hey dude, I'm almost 40, all right? I'm getting up there. But
you're not that old, man.
I'm compared to like Zach or Matty though. Like
he's pretty old.
Yeah, that's true. Comparatively,
I'm pretty fucking old. Like
you're almost 40. I'm almost 30, right? Like we're not. I mean, we're like a decade apart, but that's not like a generational gap.
No, it's not. It's not huge. But hold on. Let me make my point. Matty, how old are you?
24.
Okay, you're 24.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Matty is 24, which means when Matty was a toddler, I was in a rock. I'm fucking old. Okay, I'm
also 24. Maddie and I. Yeah.
No, you're not.
Do you want my social security number and my fucking card on screen right now?
I mean, I don't recommend that.
Zach, I might not. I don't quite recommend putting all your information
don't
online.
do that. Not on this podcast.
Let me end my tenure on
Your gift to all of our viewers is your identity.
Maddie's 24, actually. There's no way.
Wait, Zach, what month? Who's
September.
older? September.
95.
Oh, I'm old. 95. Okay.
So 95.
But yeah,
Maddie's a Zoomer.
But no, in closing, I'll kick it over to somebody else. But that has been my. I've been waking up in the morning, going checking on my rabbit babies and killing snakes where I find them, and then I check on them again in the middle of the day, and then I check on them again at night because I will not let anything happen to my little rabbit babies, my buns. I won't let anything happen to them. I won't. That's all I got.
Hold on, I need to go back to this puzzle though. So hold on. John's the oldest we know. You two are 24. Is anybody younger?
No.
All right.
No.
Is anybody older than 29 besides John?
Jeff
Just
and
John.
Justin, right? And
Yeah.
Finn.
I will
Jeff's
be
38.
I'll be 33 this year.
Finn
Oh,
is
wow.
36.
I'm 29.
No bullshit. You're 36.
I'm 35, you motherfucker.
35. Oh, my
Yeah.
fucking bad, Finn.
None of that's
My
true. None of
Yeah,
that's
I'm 31.
This is all true.
I'm 31.
None of that's true. stop playing. Everyone on this podcast is the exact same age, and it's the age that I am.
Reb, I hate to do this to you, but I'm a 1984 baby.
87.
Oh
Reb,
Wait, are you seriously from 1984, Finn? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So is his humor.
Reb,
Finn's
I'm
actually
29. If
Untitled
that makes
from
you feel any
1984.
better.
That's why he's
Thank
wearing
you,
that shirt.
Derek.
So,
Okay.
I can't.
So now that we're
Someone
done
else.
just listing our ages for everybody listening.
Hey, wait, can
I need
I've
to
shown
show
the
our
whole
driver's
shit I got
licenses.
going on.
Everyone
Go
knows
back.
now.
really quick, can we all give the last 4 of our socials just really quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Also, what's your mother's
4703.
maiden name? Just for fun.
Holy shit.
Justin, what are you enjoying right now?
Okay, so few things. So I'm going through Last of Us Part 2 again, and I won't dwell on this for too long, but like I have some personal things going on, and that like literally the point where I had already started this replay, but I started it up the other day after some things came up, and literally like the point I was at resonated so deeply with me for like stuff that's going on in my life. I won't dwell on it because it's not pleasant stuff, but like it was few stories have ever hit me as hard as that moment did on that day, and I don't think I'll ever be able to like decouple that feeling from it. And like it wasn't a sad feeling, it was a very cathartic feeling. I kind of have a weird take on that game where I see it, you know, people talk about like how dark it is and upsetting and stuff, but for me, like a lot of the stuff that makes it work is like a celebration of life and the little moments that we have with people. And I've kind of been looking at it deeper through that lens on this replay and loving it even more than I did the first time, which I liked it quite a bit the first time. And so that's been really cool. And it's kind of been helping me get through. It's a strange choice, but it's been kind of helping me get through some stuff lately. So that's been really cool. Also, I've been still marathoning King of the Hill. I am on season 8 now.
I did not know, Justin, that Brad Pitt was on that show at one point as Boomhauer's
Yes,
brother.
so I'm at the point where they're having like weird celebrity cameos every episode, and Brad Pitt was Boomhauer's
I
brother.
don't fucking understand that.
And I like the funniest joke. One of the funniest jokes on that show is at the end of that episode where it says guest starring Brad Pitt, and I just lost it. So that's been fun. But the other game I played last weekend was Maneater, which is
Good game.
like it was like the perfect palate cleanser after playing Last of Us Part 2 because it is the silliest, like least polished, janky, like low budget like game, and I just had a blast with it. Like it doesn't stay it doesn't overstay its welcome. I platinumed the game in less than 15 hours. I finished it in like just over 10.
It sounds and looks janky as fuck.
It's
it is, but it's
looks
like
but
it's a
not.
perfect like it's like a perfect junk food game. Like I feel like if it was any longer, or they really tried like
Yeah.
you know, tried to make it like this huge thing, I think it would have kind of crashed and burned. But like I was cracking up, especially like one of the collectibles is just like various locations around the Gulf Coast. But like they just went all out with making every single one of them a joke.
Yes.
Like you find like shrines to Cthulhu. You find the banana stand from Arrested Development. I found SpongeBob's house.
Also, the Ocean's 11. There was an Ocean's 11 one too.
Yes, the Ocean's 11 one. Like they just went out making a lot of them as silly as possible, and I was just swimming around as a shark, laughing for that whole weekend, and I had a blast with it. So that game put a big smile on my face in a very different way than a lot of other games I've played lately have been, and it was a good time.
Justin, can I
that's
actually
kind of-
ask you something about
Yes.
King of the Hill and not Maneater?
Sure.
So I I have not watched very much King of the Hill at all. The minimal amount I've watched was with some friends of mine, like last year, just sort of casually, like not really paying too much attention, like just like sort of a night where we were all kind of like on our phones or just being lazy or whatever. So I've seen very little of it, but my understanding of it is that it's sort of an interesting show because it's the kind of show where, based on the premise, you would not think that King of the Hill is a show that has aged well. But it seems to be like it maybe has. Yeah.
Okay,
like
so,
it seems actually pretty good.
It's weird. Some seasons more so than others. Like, you can kind of see when writers change and stuff. But, like, overall... So, when I was a kid and it was on, I don't think I got it. A lot of the humor is delivered very dryly. And a lot of it is stuff I just didn't relate to at the time. There were the silly episodes I'd laughed on, but mostly it was a thing I watched because it was on before The Simpsons, and I wanted to just watch TV. But so now I'm like actually going through and watching it, and like it might have even been season 1 or season 2, but like it was an episode from like 1997 about like the dangers of kids finding white nationalist stuff online on the internet. Like it was an episode where like, because Bobby dreams of being a comedian, so he was trying to do his bit, and like his whole bit was making fun of white people because he saw the character was voiced by Chris Rock, making fun of white people on TV, and so he told him to find his white heritage and focus on that because the little white kid doing jokes about white people wasn't as funny. So he accidentally stumbled upon a white nationalist site and started reading stuff from that and integrated it into his set. And so there was an episode about the dangers of children finding that stuff from over 20 years ago.
Fascinating.
Like it was shocking to see something like that. Like,
there's also a very good episode, Justin, in which they use crack cocaine as fish bait. So the show really
that was also a very good episode where they accidentally buy crack and use it as
so the show really
it runs the gamut.
Well, I think the thing that I've seen about it that has aged well, the little bits that I've seen, is kind of the way it sort of addresses toxic masculinity with the main character's relationship with his son in some ways, because it seems like there's like, I don't know, a sort of criticism of it within the show that is a good criticism, and I don't know that I've seen like half of 2 episodes kind of haphazardly, but that was the vague impression that I got.
Go ahead, Justin.
It's also weirdly like there's episodes with like Bobby and his relationship with Connie, like they got me like legit emotional, which I didn't think that would ever happen, watching King of the Hill and just like 2 kids and stuff. But like there's also several episodes that like were set early 2000s, like in junior high, which was exactly when I was in junior high and stuff. So like they were super, super relatable in a way that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, I've been enjoying going through that show. It is just getting a little long in the tooth because it's just like the only thing I've been watching in my downtime, and I'm on season 8 of 13. But like it's been a good time.
Huh. That's cool. Thank you.
So yeah, that's about it for my stuff. So.
Who's going next? Actually, can Jeff go next?
Jeff
because I want Jeff. I already know what Jefferson's going to say, but I want him to say it.
How do you know what? I don't even know what I'm going to say. How do you know what I'm going to say?
Because we'll talk about something that really good that happened to you recently.
What's your for dinner, Jeff?
Right. Yeah, I finished. I finally finished Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes, thank you.
There it is.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay, well, just hear me out. That game blew me away. The last act of that game is just so incredible. The characterizations are so good. I don't care what the fuck happens in part 2 and 3. I have complete faith. Reb, just hear me out, Reb. Reb's very upset with me right now. It's just an amazing game. I'm just so happy to finally talk about it. Just I was almost I was sitting here with my fiance, and we were just watching the end together, and she thought it was really cool too.
Jeff, it's not fiance anymore.
So,
oh my god, my cookies are here. Tell the joke.
Other things that are bringing me joy. My neighbor actually works at a brewery. I just found this out, so he's giving me free. He's giving me free beer. I got like 3 cases from him.
Outside.
So that's been really good. What else? I finished The Last of Us 2. That did not bring me joy. That's an amazing video game that made me feel like a piece of shit. Oh man, there's been a lot of good stuff. Animal Crossing. I just went fishing and catching lots of bugs this morning. Caught like 20 new different types of bugs and fish. Rebs, just hang on.
What's your fish?
I won't.
What's your fish?
Go get my cookies.
Everyone just shut up. I got the last fossil. I've been trying for a month. All my fossils are complete. Like, I don't think you understand how happy that makes me. I walk into that museum and I just roll around. And I realize that a lot of people don't have context for why Reb's freaking out. Reb might be implying.
I don't know what's going on.
Reb might be implying that I have a ring on my finger, which is also bringing me joy. Not because it was $20 off Amazon because all the jewelry stores are closed. I actually, I don't know if you know, these are a symbol. You exchange rings when you get married, and I got married this weekend. So that was pretty cool. I got married. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, so that was.
He got married.
Thank you. So it's
My
weird.
wife.
Everyone congratulates you, and obviously it's super exciting and brings me lots of joy. But when you think about the specifics of the wedding, a lot of it is not good memories. Like, so, I live in the prairies in the middle of summer. It's June. Like, it's been raining all summer, and I checked the 14-day forecast. I was literally checking 6 different weather websites every hour for 2 weeks. I don't think you understand how fucking insane this is driving me. Even though I know that you can't even rely on a forecast more than 40 hours out, but I was still checking. And every single one for 2 weeks straight said rain. It went from 80% chance of rain to 100% chance of rain. It went from 20 millimeters to 80 millimeters. I don't know what that is in American. But it was just going to pour rain that whole day. Even the morning of, the radar, the Futurecast, it had thunderstorms and rain, and it didn't rain a drop. The sun came out, the clouds broke up, and it was super sunny and nice. But I was pissed because I was like, why the fuck did I spend all this time stressing out about? And then on top of that, trying to like plan a safe wedding during a pandemic is like, I don't think anyone understands the lengths that we went to even our guests don't understand what we went through. Like, the venue for some reason was super crazy about how it looks, so they wouldn't space out the chairs the way that I wanted them, because we wanted, like, these 3 people are from a household, so their chairs can be together, but then we have to have 6 feet between the next chair, and it's going to look super weird. And they're like, oh, we're not going to do that. You can just pull them together when you get there. And we were running late, and I got there with like 5 minutes before the ceremony, so I was literally running around in my suit, like dragging chairs from one place to the other to try and like space people out. And the marriage commissioner was freaking out because they weren't spaced properly, and she wasn't going to marry us. And just like, and we had people back in our backyard after for a reception, and we had to like, I had to buy, I think I spent $100 on 3 bottles of hand sanitizer because I just couldn't find it in stores anywhere. And then we had to get these little side tables from the store to like put them outside, and we had to like do a floor map of how people would go in and out of the house so that they wouldn't be touching the same things. And oh my god. But hey, the good thing is I got married.
You got married.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, all the complaints aside, everything that could have went right, and yeah, it was really cool. I think we're still kind of processing it. Like, it's I don't know, we did things in a weird order. Like, we've been together for a while. We bought a house 2 years ago, so it's like, Christine jokes around that we've been together for 20 years because it feels like it in a good way. But yeah, it was really special. And I don't know, just this ring thing is pretty cool. Although I am like super paranoid about injuries because I like read, I don't remember what the term for it is. It's a term I don't really want to repeat.
Degloving?
What's that?
Degloving?
Yes, thank you. I just said I didn't want to repeat it. And
Jeff, I feel like I know a lot. I mean, not everything. I feel like
I'm a little drunk.
You are not at risk Jeff, I feel like you are not at risk of degloving my man.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty heavy
I
duty
don't know,
shit.
I have a
he's
story
on that
about-
note.
I have a
wanna
story
hear
about
what it is.
degloving.
I don't
I'll
want
tell you
to
later.
hear the
Wait,
story
the
about
rest-
degloving. I
wait.
don't.
Could
This
the
is
final
supposed to be
30
about
minutes?
Matty thinks.
I will
Can
say,
the final
Jeff,
30 minutes of this podcast just be degloving?
No.
Jeff, the way that your story was going, like I expected
Super
you,
degloving games cast.
I expected you to say, "Oh yeah," and I got this ring in my finger. You know, growing up, the writings of Tolkien were just very important to me from a formative perspective. And so,
Actually, when I was trying to figure out my ring size, I was using my the ring from the Uncharted 3 Collector's Edition as reference because I literally didn't have anything else. So I was like, I measured the diameter of that ring and put it on and tried to figure out how big it was.
no, I have to. No, Zach, no, do not Google image degloving
Don't do
anybody in chat. No,
Like,
Zach,
Free
bad.
country.
Hey, we lost Finn.
Do not
Wow.
do that.
This turned unexpectedly
Bad,
dark.
Zach.
Guess
Wait,
who's-
what is
guess-
this? Oh, Rob got a cookie.
Guess whose turn it is?
Whose turn is it? Is it Finn's
It
turn?
must be me because Finn's gone. Bronson
Oh,
killed
it's
him.
Jared's turn.
Yeah. So here's the deal, folks.
Bronson got him.
Here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna do.
What's
We're
going
gonna
on?
get real personal.
We're getting in there.
Real close.
We're gonna get very
I like
personal here.
this. Get in there, Derek. Get in there.
So I'm gonna talk to you guys about things that are bringing me joy right now.
Oh, okay.
and-
This is bringing me joy right now.
Yes, one of the things that brings me great joy, right now especially, is this podcast and these people on this podcast. I don't talk about me and my struggles very much, but I have been having a bad one for the past 4-5 months, something like that. It's been bad, y'all. It's been bad. It's been a real extremely long mental health breakdown. But like y'all do so much to relieve that, and this is like reminding me of all the good memories that I have with y'all. And I remember things like how the very first thing I got to do with SDGC was to cooperate with John and I think Finn and Blessing on a talk about a very unfortunate Harry Potter game.
Yeah,
I remember that
I was there too.
it was you. Okay. I remember my very first podcast was with Amanda Farrow and Mike Futter on together, sharing one webcam in the most janky way
Yes.
possible.
Yes.
I remember my first PAX East and trying way too fucking hard to get us to be like content ready. And
crushing it.
yes, I remember coming out, which I did as part of this podcast while I was on this podcast. Not like live on a show, but like, I came out past that point. I remember my, at PAX East, I remember PAX West bringing the good bourbon and sharing it with like Imran and the Game Explain folks and just a bunch of our industry friends. A bunch of the people from Uppercut were there. I remember being at PAX East 2019 for the first time and meeting the crew that I met for the first time. Because it was John, it was Finn, it was Zach, it was Matty, it was Justin, it was me. And it was just fucking hilarious. We still have to have that photo of the 3 hots in a cot, right? That's somewhere.
Yeah.
3 hots in a cot, baby.
Yeah.
Pax memories.
Derek,
God.
on this while we're on this note,
Yeah.
when you and I worked at the Diversity Lounge for Take This.
Oh, I'm gonna tell
that
that
year.
story too, but
Oh, well, you have another side of that story, but like that was one of the most fun, exciting, energetic afternoons I have had in years. I had such a blast working that with you. And I'm so glad we did that. Because it was really fulfilling and we both had a really great time.
yeah.
And I think it was a very good thing for both of us.
Yeah. and you fucking nailed me to the wall. we were doing
I thought I was agreeing with you.
You were, but it was just funny. So for those of y'all who don't know and have not been around me at like a PAX, here's the thing. I have a tremendous appreciation for the vast majority of people. Most people are very beautiful, and I don't really look at like people I know and have talked to in that way. Like, I just don't register people really as attractive in that way if you're somebody I have spoken to. Like, I can kind of be like, yeah, you're pretty or beautiful or handsome or whatever, but like, I don't think about people that way. But you put me in a crowd of strangers, and I'm just like, they're all so beautiful and hot, and it's hard. And
Derek, my personal memory is you and me with the turf
and those fucking
in
turfs.
line for this Final Fantasy VII remake demo, and I will forever.
We got
associate
bullied
you
by
with
two
that.
incredibly hot, punky women in tuxedos, and I learned a thing about myself.
I was there to witness the awakening.
Yeah, but I was in. Me and Justin were working the Take This booth, hawking for donations, and you know, I was just like, oh my god, that person is so beautiful, or like, that person is so hot, or that person is just like the most handsome person I've ever seen, just constantly. So it's not like I wasn't just throwing compliments out quietly to Justin about damn near everybody I saw, because look, people are beautiful. Human beings are beautiful, and you are beautiful, even if you don't know it. I promise you are. But I said it about one person. It was like person number 37 out of like 50 that I would remark upon that day. And Justin went, yeah, you know, you seem like you're the kind of person who would be into like that androgynous punky type. Dead. Dead. It was very, very
I wasn't
funny.
wrong, by the way.
You're completely right. Like, I have no type. I have no type because all types of people are beautiful, basically. But like, that's a type. Just nailed it. Just having met me. I remember PAX West last year, and getting to meet Jeff for the first time. And as you've pointed out, might be the only time in a very long time, because it's very hard for you to make those kind of things. And that was very blessed. And meeting Reb for the first time, which was incredible, because we got to combine our gay energy and light up Seattle. We found Gay City.
I told you it was there. Yes.
We found Gay City.
Remember the dance we did in front of the ice cream place?
Yes.
That's my favorite GIF ever.
It's a good GIF.
Me, Reb, and Derek. It's one of my favorite GIFs.
It was
we
so
need
good.
to find that. It's on the official account somewhere. We need to find that GIF and pull it back up.
Yeah.
I love that
I
shit.
don't even know what you'd search for to find that.
It was so, I don't know, but it was
It's
so good. And so yeah, I mean, there's things to enjoy in my life. I'm playing and watching a bunch of things, and they're all good. But like, this right now is reminding me, I'm thinking of how fucking hard Zach and Matty, you two, have had me laughing my ass off through that first PAX East. Y'all are funny motherfuckers. And that's coming from somebody who is, if you will permit me to call myself this, a funny motherfucker. Like, y'all had me rolling.
I'm
so
pretty sure we weren't
often.
funny. We were just very paranoid. Extremely dangerously high.
Yeah.
We are pretty funny. That's true.
It just,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I remember this last PAX East bringing the fucking bubonic plague because I brought the flu to Boston.
We don't talk about PAX East 2020.
And
2019.
everybody was worried that I brought the plague, or that I had the plague, and I was like,
It was
no,
only flu.
I was sick before I came, apparently. So, and I've met Direct Feed Games and seen what he looks like in person, and very few people can say that.
And Derek and I spent probably about half of this last PAX East just laying in bed.
And I remember taking care of Bustin.
In the hotel room.
You guys.
I was in really bad shape. Derek took care of me and watched.
I watched
House
a lot of House
on his
on my tablet.
Because
I was just watching House, but also we went to the store and picked up medicine and Nibblies and Gatorades and shit, and I took care of Bustin', because that's what I do.
I barely made it to that store and back,
and I'm very
it was
upset,
like a block away from our hotel.
Bronson, I did miss meeting Bronson. I missed meeting a lot of people.
I
miss getting to fight Bronson.
Yeah. And Bronson beat you before he even arrived. Bronson gave Martha the flu so that she would give me the flu, so I would give you the flu, thus ensuring his victory well in advance.
I'm like kind of bummed out now because like you guys have all these really good PAX memories, and like the first 2 PAX West, I was like, I'm gonna fucking go. I'm gonna fucking do the work. And PAX East, I finally chilled out a little bit and was like, I'm gonna make some time for people. And it was great. And then everybody got sick, which was no one's fault. But it's the way it was. And now I don't know when we're gonna have another one.
I didn't even go to that PAX.
I know. I haven't met you and Matty.
Yeah.
We'll meet you at PAX East 2024, the first one post-COVID.
It's gonna be great.
Matty and I were supposed to go, but we were just supremely high at home.
Can I, like, knowing Derek's sense of humor, can I just say that when he zoomed the camera in real tight, I was legit convinced he was going to say, it's free real estate.
It's free real estate.
Yeah, I was legit.
Yeah, there it is.
Derek, we love you, dude.
And last but most certainly not least, because it's the most visible of my memories that I've had at PAX, is running around the fucking floor with Finn and just a bag full of equipment strapped to my ass as we just hustle for those interviews. And it's so much work when it's done, but it's so worth it because, like, dude, Finn, you come alive in those moments when you get to schmooze it up with some indie developer who spent every last dollar they had to get to that 3 feet of the show floor, you know, and like you get to highlight what they're showing off, and you just, I watch you click on, and it's just, it's truly magic. And I would not trade those for the world, and it might be the number one thing that keeps me going to PAX events at this point. So that's what's making me happy right now.
Derek, god damn it, why are you so wholesome? Fuck.
Because I'm the fucking best.
Why are you so fucking wholesome, Derek? My first memory meeting Derek was that hug he gave me at the airport or at PAX at the actual
the convention center. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're a big boy.
Yeah, you are a surprisingly big boy, and I'm a surprisingly little boy. I'm not a big person. I'm pretty short, and I'm not very wide built. I'm a little dude. You can fold me up and put me in your purse and have your own little pocket gay.
So who has not Finn?
Finn. It's always Finn.
No, Justin. It's Finn. Finn is the last one.
Finn,
we're saving the best for last.
Come on, his name. His name is Matthew.
Matthew. No, Matty is gone. It's Finn.
I just sit here and wait. Everyone else should go first. That's how it is.
That's not. No.
I'm torn because I have very specific memories I want to shout out because this is just the reminiscing throwback episode that makes me so happy. But I'm also a selfish nerd who has media stuff that makes him happy. So I'm gonna do both.
Man, do both, man.
So I'm gonna do it real quick. I wrote it down. If you remember anything from our PlayStation 5 thing, you know I love writing on napkins. So I've got my list. Yeah.
I've officially decided that we don't have time to do the other topic, and I don't care. So you can just take up like the next however long you feel like, and we're just gonna listen to you.
I don't even know. The first thing I'm not gonna get into the particulars because boy is that a quagmire. Is Saki and I finished The Last of Us 2, and there was just it's one of only 4 games that she has ever made me just not be able to play until she's there so she can watch.
I like that shit.
Because she gets so invested in it. She's like, you can't play unless I'm there. And though if I do, I have to immediately hit the PlayStation share button and save it as a video clip and then go back and show her. so she can get all caught up. Anyway, so as we finish it, and she's sitting there just crying her eyes out, she's just bawling. It's that was just a really good moment. I really like those memories when I get to basically play a game with her. It's a lot of fun. And the second one came out today, and I don't think people understand how excited I am about this because I have been. Oh, we lost somebody. Who'd we lose?
Zach. He quit early.
Oh, wow,
Zach can't wait to be done with us. He's like, "Fuck
To go
this."
get more cookies.
Zach's like Finn's on. All right,
Nom,
no.
nom, nom.
All right, so
Hi, sorry.
it got announced today. Justin has very strong feelings about King of the Hill, and that's great. It's a great show, a lot of legacy there. But I got today the news that one of my favorite, most underappreciated shows of all time is getting a second chance at life, and Clone High is coming back, and it is the most before its time underappreciated show of all. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Clone High is getting a reboot for the modern day. Phil Lord and Chris Miller doing what they do best. And I called all of my friends from high school because, and this is going to date me, the show came out around 2002, 2003. So I was a senior in high school, and we used to tape the episodes because people still used VHS at the time. And we would record the episode the night before and then take it to school, and a teacher would let us use our lunch break to watch the episode as a group. And she was fascinated by it because it was basically a great history show. But I have such strong memories about that, and it's one of the most brutal cliffhangers in animated history. And I'm so happy that we get a new show. I don't care that it's not a follow-up and that it's a reboot. I'm just Clone High, man. I'd say go watch it, but it's not available streaming anywhere. You can't even legally buy it. Canada, you can. Maybe Jeff can send it to you.
We can't buy
I have a friend.
It's illegal in Canada.
Who has it somehow. One time I was over there and we were drinking, and he showed me like 3 episodes of it, and I was surprised when I saw the news today because I was convinced I had invented that. Like the same way I'm convinced that I invented Kill la Kill while I was intoxicated in some way. I am pretty much convinced that I invented Clone High in my head, except now the internet's talking about it, so I guess I didn't. I guess someone else came up with that, but okay.
Look,
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, so it's an animated show where all of the historical figures of history have been cloned and are in high school together. And sure, there's reasons for it, but it doesn't matter. Phil Lord plays a crazy principal, and Chris Miller plays a robot butler vice principal, and the two of them are grooming all of these clones to take over the world somehow. And so you get Gandhi and JFK and Cleopatra and Abe Lincoln, and it's zany and fun, and also somehow Bill Lawrence from Scrubs is involved, so a lot of the Scrubs alumni come in as voices. Anyway, enough about that.
Okay.
It's real good, John. You'd love it.
Yeah, sounds good.
How dare you?
It's good. It's weird as shit, but it's good.
All right.
It's good.
See, Derek's Zoom face gets it.
Wait, Reb, can we get a cookie by cookie breakdown of how...
Finn's talking right now.
Yeah,
If someone else interrupt them, but it's
Cookies
Finn.
on the mind.
I'm
We'll
so
talk about the cookies later.
so sorry.
We can take a break. I'm about to move on to memories, so tell us
The
about the
fluffer
cookie,
nutter
Reb.
is okay. I've eaten one entire dark chocolate mint chip cookie, and it was still warm. And it was the most incredible thing I've tasted in my life. And I don't actually know. I got a fluffer nutter, and I also got a peanut butter chip. And I suspect that what I've just eaten is the fluffer nutter. I'm not done with it. I've eaten about half of it. But it is also the most incredible thing I've ever tasted in my life. And I think I'm done eating cookies for like right this second because I do not have a large cookie capacity. But these cookies are the most incredible thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Insomnia cookies are so good.
I also have a second dark chocolate mint chip in here. I have the aforementioned peanut butter chip. I have a lemon white chocolate chip, and I have the M&M cookie that Zach recommended.
Very nice.
Please continue.
Kind of like the time Zach ate my cookie at PAX.
Hey, he ate 4 of your cookies.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Finn, please continue. We don't talk. I'm sorry I even brought that up.
That was on me. I'm sorry, Finn. I didn't mean to
It's all
disrespect
good.
you.
In fact, if you want, I can spend the rest of the show just quoting Clone High jokes. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
do that.
do that.
Let's hear about your other
Totally
topic.
fine. I'm okay with no.
All right, so I have very specific memories about all of you that I'm gonna just quickly rattle off because
Finn.
Aw.
for
Finn.
Zach, it's so when we went to E3 together, it was a smaller crew because of just the logistics of it, and we ended up in quite a ways away. But I gotta tell you, rooming with Zach and having him accept the sheer number of sunflower seeds I would eat, and then just leave in a little bowl next to the bed.
Oh,
yeah.
Gross, dude.
Look, okay, there was no
deeply
trash
upsetting.
can.
I don't know.
Filthy.
Sorry
And
to
you know what?
interrupt, Finn. I'm just thinking of Ace Ventura. I don't know if anyone remembers.
Yes, that
He's
is
like,
very
"Oh,
similar.
It's a disgusting habit, and he's just got like shells sticking out.
Yes,
No.
that's
Also-
basically what it was.
Also, Finn, we can't spoil like the details here, but we had a very bootlegged Hulu account at that time, which was pre-Fox merger, but we had Hulu that had The Simpsons on it. We had it was a very strange. It was a weird time.
I have more memories of going back to the room with Zach than I do of E3 proper that year. and I mean, yeah, Justin, I'm getting to you. Don't worry. But Justin was
I'm drinking water.
yeah, Justin, like, I'm cool, dude. I thought Justin was like raising his hand, like, "What about me?" I'm like, "I'm getting to you, buddy. I'm going in order." All right. So, Justin,
God.
there we go. Sorry, I had too much Bud Light seltzer, and it just builds up in you, and you have to sometimes just release it.
God.
Why would you admit to that?
This
Because
podcast is unlistenable.
We did
Alright.
not come
Kidding.
to
I'll
this
see your
final
Bud Light
podcast between the
seltzer.
three of us to make listenable radio.
This is true.
Zachary.
This
I'll
is
see your
true.
Bud Light seltzer and raise you Bud Light strawberry lemonade.
Oh my god!
That's bad.
Alexa, play Gangster's Paradise.
My neighbor works in a brewery. This is what he gave me. I'm not gonna turn it down.
God!
It basically just tastes like
Alright.
water. It's not that.
all right.
Jeff, we all make choices.
You
my man.
continue.
Oh man. All right. For Justin, for me, it's the first time I got to meet you at a con because you can only go to basically PAX East. And the joy
Pretty much,
on your
yeah.
face of being able to like meet us for the first time and go to a con, and then to follow that up, the first time you crushed your interview when you did Maneater. Oh man, like
You did crush that.
it's really cool to see because you were
my
so nervous
exactly
going
one
into it.
interview that I have done.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you would have done much more, but right after that, you were like, "Oh no, Derek killed me with the plague, and now I'm home for the rest of the show." So the fact
I
that
literally-
you got that interview makes me very happy.
I hope I didn't kill the guy I interviewed.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Look, all
Yeah,
I know
no,
is that you
I've-
did a great job, man.
We do need to talk about Disc
That
Room.
packs-
Somebody brought up Disc Room and Finn trying so hard to beat that one room for ages, and then I pick up the controller and nail it on my fucking first try.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
did the exact
loosened-
same thing.
I
There was a
loosened the
dude who was
jar for
right
you.
in front of me who was struggling on the. It was the last level, and he finally just gave up and walked away. And I just picked it up and did it. And I was like, "Wait, can I still do the full demo, please?"
I just nailed it.
I was playing Disc Room in the background of the interview, and I was trying so hard not to be like, "Oh shit, oh fuck," like the whole time because they were recording like an actual interview with the developers behind me. I was basically just doing like the B-roll in the background, trying so hard not to swear.
Oh, you're the best B-roll buddy because you did it for the control one too. You're like my go-to like gameplay guy. I don't know. All right, so Matty, we already mentioned yours. It's milking that fucking cow will always go down.
You're milking.
Also, side note for that, when we were all cramped in with Wout, the hashtagonist, in that
Oh
one
man.
shitty ass hotel room, and you and your lady were crammed into the world's smallest.
I
cot.
remember that.
And
6'5",
you
being
are
on
a
a
giant
5'5".
motherfucker. You are a tall, lanky dude, and
Long.
he's
a
a
long
tall
boy.
boy.
He
He's a long boy.
the
Oh
blanket
man,
with, like, cardboard.
just good times. And she is the
was-
opposite of that.
Finn, that was the night that guy brought the cot up to us and took one look
Yes.
at the room, and he was like, "I don't know what y'all doing in
He's
here."
like, I'm not even asking. Here's the side, we're rolling out.
The
All right.
hotel with the expired
This
safety
expired elevator. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Jeff, for you, it's PAX West. We're walking down one of the giant hills that are there just to murder your legs. And I tell what I believe might be my 900th dad joke. And you just stop and you turn and you look at me and you go, how are you always like this? With just the most disbelief in your voice.
Naively assumed it was just like your on internet personality, and then I meet you in person, and you'd just be like a normal fucking guy.
Well, I remember one time, either before or after the show, Saki came on and was talking to us too, and she made a joke, and Jeff was just like, "Oh my god, you're both like
You're
this."
the same. The
I am so
same.
proud of that. I will never forget that moment of Jeff. It still makes me giggle every time. For Reb, it is the time that I showed up first at PAX West, and the two of us walked and found the seaside market or whatever it is, and we got breakfast together at the at that amazing breakfast place that you found. It was just us chilling. We had never met before, and we were catching up and being best friends, and it was so cool because it's like,
Good.
I got you. I was first. I'm like the comment section. I'm like,
It was really nice too because I got to like actually hang out with you, and it was like I was there like a little bit early because my flight came in early, and I didn't have like anything to do that day, but also like nobody else was there yet except for you, and so like I didn't have a million people. I mean, this sounds like stuck up and like, oh, everybody wants my attention. But I mean, that's like how PAX is, right?
That is
like
how
you go
it
to
is.
PAX
You
and
have-
everybody just wants to hang out with everybody all the time. But it was like before anybody showed up, and so it was just like, hey, it's just me and Finn. Let's just go get some pancakes and just chill. And it was so nice. And they're really good pancakes too.
Hey Finn, I feel like we're leaving out that part of E3 2018 in which we went to the wrong address for our Airbnb. We were just like we were in a very like not right.
We were
part
like
of,
next to a bodega.
yeah, we were like we were like, no, this has got to be the address. We looked around and we're like, this is the wrong part of LA. And like, I mean, like we were like 100% safe and fine, but it was like not like the place we anticipated being in LA.
Yeah, we were just
yeah.
like, wow,
Oh
this
my
is
God.
definitely not where we wanted to be. Good time.
Yeah. Also, we saw the police try to kick a down and out guy out of the Starbucks. Fuck the cops. Anyway, that's the last thing I'll say on
Fuck
this
the
cops.
podcast.
Welcome.
Hey, Cab. John,
I don't even want to know.
I like your beanie.
Thank you.
Derek, so the no, John. I mean, it's not an exaggeration to say none of us would be here without you. I get to know all these amazing people because of you. You are always the first one when any of us have problems in our personal lives. You reach out, you surprise us with gifts and presents because that's just the kind of guy you are. You are the reason we got to all get together to our first convention as a group. None of this happens without you. The fact that we can even mourn the loss of Matty, Zach, and Reb, may they rest in peace wherever they end up. We'll never see them again.
Whatever.
Is
afterlife.
because of you. And you're just a fucking cool ass dude. Like you're the only person that has. No, that's a lie. You weren't at E3, but you're every PAX you're there. Like I've gotten to see you almost as much as everyone else. You're like, I think you might actually be the one SDGC person I've seen the most. You're just man, I love you, buddy. You're legit. You're all right. You know what? We'll keep you around for a little bit longer.
I'm actually highly disagreeable, but I appreciate all that.
You'd be perfect if we could just somehow disable the quote retweet function for you. But other than that, you know.
You've earned that one, bud.
Good night, everybody.
You've earned that one, bud. I love you.
And Derek, I'm just gonna repeat what you said. It's just you are like my PAX bro. We have able to do all the content we do because you come prepared. You're the one that goes, hey, I'm a TV producer, dude. I know the tech. I have the know-how. I'm going to make this happen. If it was me, I'd be taking my iPhone and being like, all right, so the sound's going to be fine, right? Just talk into it. It'll be great. You make us look good. You make us sound good. And you are a trooper because you know me. I get onto the floor and I'm like James Woods with a piece of candy from Family Guy. I'm like, oh, there's a developer. Oh, that game looks cool. Let's talk to them. And you're like, every time you talk to someone is like 4 more hours of work for me. But you just let me roll with it. And I'm just like, oh, that game looks cool. Maybe the devs want to say hi. And you make conventions so good. And I love you for it. And then I'm going to do the impossible, and I'm going to add somebody because he's not here, but JT is officially the first SDGC person I've ever met because I was at EVO working with Arc System Works, and JT lives in Vegas, and we met up and had ahi tuna tacos and beers at this all-night bar on the Strip, and he is the coolest dude, and it's just, you never forget your first. And JT is just an awesome dude, and I wish he had more time with us. But shout out to JT.
Hey, stop making it sound like they died.
They all died.
I feel really bad. I went first, and I just talked about Ring Fit.
You messed up, Rebert.
I talked about fucking hot dogs. All right, I talked about fucking hot dogs. It's fine.
Blame Derek, okay? And also, finally, shout out to Kogasu in chat. Julian, you came to my wedding with Saki. You drove all the way from Texas to visit us and meet us for the first time. We love you. That's all I got. That's what I'm happy about. All you motherfuckers.
I guess I'll just say it again. Like thank you so much to this community, to all the I could sit here and like attempt to name all of you, and then I'd end up like leaving a bunch of people out. But like I'm still planning on staying as admin of the Discord, and I like really deeply I'm super grateful and like appreciative of the mods in there. Lena, Rar, Julian, and Dio, like you guys just do like absolutely amazing work. It's such a lovely community. We have so much fun in there. It's been like so fucking chill. Like it's been the easiest. I thought fucking like 200 people, like, oh my god, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare. No, it's like fine because you all are great. And the community is really great. But yeah, like this podcast, this crew, like I love you guys so much. I mean, this has been a delight. Like I joined because I had fun as a guest on a couple podcasts, and because I wanted a place to like sort of have an outlet to be a goof about games while I was doing this serious business news. But it's, you know, obviously turned into so much more than that. It's been just like so much fun. Do you mind if I plug the new thing I'm doing now?
Well, I was hoping you would.
Yeah, so
I want to know what it is.
Yeah, so the reason I'm leaving is because I have very much in the last 6 months, maybe a little bit more than that, in a lot of avenues of my life, begun to feel the urge to like I'm starting to feel comfortable as a part of the games industry, and you know, as a journalist and like someone who like is visible in games. But I've started to feel the urge to do something that's all my own, like a project that is just mine, doesn't rely on anyone else, isn't being handed to me by my company, isn't a collaboration with other people who I love very much, but it, you know, is just something that is mine and that I am fully in control of and can fully decide everything that I want to do on and that I'm responsible for. And it's really hard, right? Because I love podcasting. I like doing this video thing, but in general, I don't like doing streaming. I'm not a video person, so I don't want to do anything like that. But the problem is there's so many gaming podcasts, right? Like there's just a million of them, and they're, you know, a lot of them are very much the same. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know that something I love doing is cooking through video game cookbooks and recreating video game food. And that's something that I like doing, and I like, the other thing that I like doing as part of my job is talking to developers. The reason why I got into this industry is because I had an interview at E3 where a developer was just gushing about this game that they had brought to E3 and how good it was, and I fell in love with it. Like, I just want to be around people who are talking about the things that they love. So I'm combining those two things into a podcast. I'm probably going to try to launch it in the fall. I've done a little bit of work on it so far, but part of me leaving is I need time to actually work on it and build it up. It's going to be called The Cozy Wood Kitchenette, which is a riff on Ironwood Kitchenette from Animal Crossing. It is going to be a podcast with just me and a single guest on every single week. The idea is to do a cooking show that's a little bit Bob Rossian in the sense that you get a recipe. Every 2 weeks we'll run it. there will be a new recipe, and I'm not going to try to recreate like really complex video game food here. This isn't like me trying to make a video game cookbook. I'm not like a creative chef. I can't like make like elaborate cakes or anything like that, but like simple recipes that are based on things that you might find in game worlds. And so every week I'll teach you vocally over a podcast how to make whatever that recipe is. I'll make it along with you, so you'll kind of hear me in the kitchen, dropping onions or stumbling or stirring or whatever. But then as a part of that, it takes time to make something, and some of that time is like spent sitting around or stirring or baking, and you don't just want to hear me like blabbering like to myself while I'm doing that. So in those kind of interludes, I'm going to be talking to different people about the food and the game that it relates to. So some weeks that might be a developer who worked on the game, and we might talk about, the kinds of things they designed and the world of that game. Or some weeks it might be a person who's like very active in that game's community and knows a lot about it. Or some weeks it might be a person who's actually a good chef and knows something particular about the kind of food I'm making and can give me like some insight as to its place in sort of the cultural world of the game it's in. So it's gonna be a little bit different every week, but the idea is this combination of it's something you can turn on and listen to and make a food with me and learn a little bit about this game world and kind of this game culture and what that sort of means for the universe and what sort of takeaways you can get from that. So that's going to be Cozy Wood Kitchenette. My goal is to launch in the fall, but it's going to be a little bit of a technical challenge because I haven't done anything like this before, and I have like a little bit of kind of training that I've gotten through work because I haven't been able to announce it yet, but I have another work podcast that I'm going to be launching that's all mine. That's a little bit simpler. Hopefully you'll hear about that soon. But aside from that, like actually getting, recording stuff into my kitchen is going to be a little bit difficult, but that's the main goal over the next couple months. And yeah, so I have a Twitter handle. It's called at Cozy Wood Kitchen. There's literally nothing there yet, but if you want to keep an eye on that, that's where it's going to be.
Fuck yeah.
Go follow that. Reb, can you throw that Twitter handle out in chat?
Absolutely.
Just followed.
Reb, I was gonna ask you to plug that, but I also want to say, Reb, in case shockingly, there's someone who's listening to this podcast right now who isn't already following you on Twitter. Where can they keep track of the work you're doing going forward?
They can find me on Twitter at Duck Valentine, and you can find my everyday work at gamesindustry.biz.
Hell yeah.
Zach, where do people find you? Zach,
listen, I have a little wrap-up thing I just want to throw really quickly.
Yeah, you do anything.
But Matty, I just do really quickly want to see if there's anything besides Questlog. I mean, plug Questlog one more time, but also is there anything else you kind of want to close with?
Yeah. So I'll do Questlog first, and then I'll say anything else I want to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're interested in just reading a gaming blog that doesn't really, this is not an appealing pitch. Let me first say, a gaming blog that doesn't really have an identity yet, but that will find one along the way. If you want to follow along in that journey with me, you can check out Questlog at medium.com /quest-log, or on Twitter it's at Questlogging. And that's going to be, I have 7 articles up right now. There's a couple longer pieces that are a little more serious, and then there's a couple just fun pieces about, Destiny or SnowRunner or Pokemon or something. And hopefully that becomes streaming or podcasting later once I find my footing there. And I just want to say, like the rest of you guys did, this has been such a unique experience for me. Not unique. It's not unique. It has changed my life in ways I didn't really expect, both through meeting you all and meeting the community, and just turning me from a very anxious person who didn't talk to a lot of people to someone who suddenly knows all these amazing people and can talk to them every day, and wants to make things on the internet for those people. That is not something I ever would have wanted to do in high school. And meeting you guys almost 5 years ago at this point really changed a lot of things for the better, and I will always appreciate that. So thanks.
We love you, bud.
And Matty, one more time, where can people find you on Twitter if they're not already following you?
Oh God, what's my handle?
Matty _Gregwar.
Yeah, you can throw it in chat too. But...
Yeah, I'll throw it in chat. It's Matty _Gregwar, but nobody can spell Gregwar because it's one of those weird French names.
It's weird because it's to me it seems like it's spelled exactly like it seems like it would be, but
you'd think.
And then I guess what I'll close with is being a supreme nerd and saying that one of the very cool things about SDGC is that we have built a community that takes care of the individual but also the collective. And I think that's very, very cool. And that is much bigger than the 8 people on this podcast right now. And we're, I'm so appreciative of what's been built. But the one thing I'll say is that I'm not going to use my platform to say that, like, you should fucking vote for Joe Biden. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say to you is that what's happening right now is not acceptable. And I know the people in this chat know it's not acceptable. And people listening know it's not acceptable. And so I want you to do what you are comfortable with right now to make changes and use your voice, whether that's voting or working locally to make changes on a level that impacts your life daily. I encourage people to do that because we are seeing continuously disenfranchised people being pushed further and further to the margins, and it's not all right. And, when you look at what this podcast is, there's diversity, but not really, right? And we've talked about that a lot, especially in recent weeks. But it would be fucked up to wrap up my time on this show to not one more time encourage people to think harder, to do better, and to seriously, I promise you, myself included, there is more that we can fucking do, and there is better things that we can do. And you need to find what that is for you. And do what's right. And I really fucking hope that the catastrophic bad that we have seen is something that we remember, but also something that we can turn the fucking page on, because I'm fucking tired and you're fucking tired, and we need to do fucking better. So that's it. You can find me on Twitter at Bearclaw Gaming. I do not do anything. I have no plans going forward.
You shit post wonderfully.
I'm already fucking obscure, but it's only gonna get worse. But I promise you, this is the last thing I will plead with you to do, is to find ways to make changes locally and participate nationally, and help people who cannot speak as loudly and freely as you can.
To us building a better world.
Fired up. That's get me fired up.
It can be as simple as just retweeting other people's voices.
So I'll just give some really quick housewarm or a house. I'm fucking drunk. I'm going to talk real quick. Housekeeping. There we go. I'm kind of drunk right now. So just a little bit of podcast business. Next week we have John Bentley, who is the voice of Barrett from Final Fantasy VII Remake, who will be joining us next Thursday.
Now, have we clarified? Is he joining us just for an interview, or is he going to do a full show with us?
He's going to do a full. He's going to do a full podcast.
Hell yeah!
He's going to do a full hour and a half with us. Yeah. So
that poor soul.
I know. Yeah, he has no idea what he's in for. And of course, going forward, we will have, as Derek said earlier, we're going to have more of a focus on individuals like, people who do voice acting in games, and we're going to try to stay away from just having, developers on. We want to have people on who actually.
Well, we even want to have more developers on. We want to expand. We've traditionally stayed very in media, and we've occasionally done some developers, and it's let's maybe have somewhat fewer media, have more developers, have more voice actors and translators and various things like that to show maybe a broader side of this industry. Finn has a fun thing to talk about. I know it.
Yeah, I totally forgot to even bring it up. Because I was waiting, because we came up with the idea, and I actually filmed the first episode, and then the world went to shit, and it really just didn't feel like the right time. So I just kept it on the back burner, and I don't even know when I'll launch it. But I've got there's going to be a new segment of SDGC called in relation to what John said about wanting to have a broader range of types of people in the industry on our show, but sometimes Thursday at 9:00 EST doesn't work for everybody. So I'm doing a series of interviews with people all around the industry called SDGC Finterviews.
You can't get rid of Matt. You can't call you Matt.
I know. I'm keeping the fin.
Matt if you're gonna
keeping
do
the
that.
fin.
This is bullshit.
So Finterviews, and the first episode is already in the bag. I've edited it and everything, and our own Kogasu has done the intro music.
Who's the interviewee, Finn?
The devs of the Epic Games Store exclusive for now until it hits consoles. Foregone. We met them at PAX, and it's just our schedules never lined up for the show to have them on. So it just felt really cool. It's really fun to talk to devs and see their passion, because it's a different side of things from the PR side. So I don't know when I'll put that first episode up, but I've already got a couple others lined up. I've been a busy bee. We will be doing all kinds of fun stuff with it. But yeah, Finterviews.
And to kind of, I'm really looking forward to that. I fucking love that.
Join the Discord. I put
Join the fucking Discord.
Join the Discord. If you're listening to this later and don't have access to chat, go to twitter.com/ I don't know how Twitter links work. Go to the official SDGC Twitter, and I think like the pinned tweet is the Discord.
Yeah.
Just come to the Discord. It's so nice there. It's so cool. It's all there.
Reb is going to continue to run. Like, she's the Discord queen. Like, she runs that shit. Like,
No one's leaving.
But also read the fucking rules and pay attention and be fucking nice in there.
Yeah.
The rules are be nice. Don't be an asshole. I ban you. Someone will ban you.
And
anyway, sorry, John.
I want to repeat something that that I said on Twitter a little while back, and I'll close on this. Obviously, there is no replacing Reb, Zach, or Matty. They cannot be replaced.
Damn right.
Period. We will at some point be recruiting new members on the podcast. Those new members will not be cis white men. We are going to take very deliberate steps to practice what we preach. Diversity is something that is very important to us. But we need to really buckle down and prove it. And so going forward, that's something that we are going to be taking in regards to our cast makeup very, very seriously. And we'll have more to say about that as time goes on.
When we fucking decide.
What's that?
I said when we fucking decide, because we don't know yet.
Yeah.
This isn't anything we're going to be rushing into.
No,
we don't have like a deadline or anything. We're just going to be working to try to build a show that we think matches our audience and matches what we believe.
And Reb, all the luck in the world to your new podcast venture. I cannot wait
Thank you.
to see what you're cooking up. Matty, I know that you're going to kill it with Questlog. You're an incredibly talented writer, and you deserve to be writing at one of the big outlets. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you put out. Zach, good luck with whatever it is you're going to do.
Baby, 401k, golfing every fucking day.
Zach is gonna get real high.
Good luck with the shit posts.
Zach is with whatever Zach has planned. Nobody's going far. I am sure you'll see
his name to Cowley.
I'm sure you'll see them back as a guest on at some point. They're all in the Discord. Reb is still running that shit. Nobody's going far.
No one is dying. We're all still around.
Everybody's still here. That being said, I'm a little emotional now, so I can't give the sign off. So
we do it together.
I got this. Hang on, real quick.
Everyone together, ready?
Does everybody have the stream up though?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
No.
It's gonna be bad. We don't care.
It's gonna be terrible.
I
want the stream
cannot
up.
run the stream and the Discord at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, John, you lead it. We'll just go with you.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's not always poetry. That was terrible, and I love it.
Hashtag
Nailed it.
We fucking
nailed it.
It's very on brand for us.
I love you.
And-
Good night.
And with that, we'll see you next week.
Good night.